Field hockey, soccer, and volleyball have all made their return to the fall season, including two teams that started the weekend undefeated.
Plus, first the rain pushed the football team around, then it was Rutgers, as the Owls got pummeled in Piscataway over the weekend. A brand new semester of OwlSports Update is live and it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new semester of OwlSports Update. And it's time for a brand new anchor duo. I'm Lindsay Moppert, joined alongside Luke Mealy.
We've got a full show to get to today with the return of fall sports. First, we'll start things off where you might expect, but with an unexpected result. It wasn't at all the way Temple football wanted to start the season in North Jersey. After postponing the game 2 days thanks to flooding, the Owls got their season underway Saturday afternoon and got blown out by Rutgers. The Owls were inconsistent across the board, but it started under center. Injuries and turnovers plagued the quarterback position in Game 1. And when the final horn sounded, there were many more questions than answers pointed at the future of the Owls.
The Temple offense came into 2021 with heightened expectations after having a more typical offseason. However, in the season opener, the 2021 Owls looked a lot like the 2020 Owls, a team that averaged less than 20 points per game, leaving them near the bottom of all Division I teams.
It was about as bad as we could possibly play.
The offensive struggles were highlighted by the duo of quarterbacks who took all but one snap. Georgia transfer DeJuan Mathis and true freshman Justin Lynch completed 29% of their passes and turned the ball over 4 times. But a sliver of good news, they did run 15 times for 48 yards and a touchdown.
With that many rushing attempts coming from the quarterback position, it could be another tool to add to the offensive arsenal of the team, but as we saw against Rutgers, it comes with its own risks.
It'll always be a part of the game plan. I don't know how much, because you like to keep your quarterbacks healthy.
Justin's a very athletic, smart quarterback. So I would say we had the same game plan, whether or not either one of them played.
Mathis left the game in a boot and crutches, which means this team may have to look for a new leader under center.
Coach always says the next man up. So if Justin Lynch is the next man up, then we're going to get on his back.
Last season, the Owls had 4 quarterbacks attempt at least 20 passes, the most in a single season since 1992, when the team finished 1-10. With an ankle injury to Mathis and Lynch's turnover struggles, the QB carousel may keep spinning in 2021, much like it did in 2020.
Rod Carey announced DeJuan Mathis is officially week-to-week with a lower body injury and is questionable for Game 2 against Akron.
And speaking of the game against Akron, the Owls are back on the road Saturday afternoon. The last time Temple played Akron was in 2011 when the Owls dominated the Zips with a score of 41-3. With Mathis questionable and tight end David Martin Robinson out with a shoulder injury, it's very likely true freshman quarterback Justin Lynch will have to step it up and lead the Owls on the road. The Zips counter with redshirt senior Cato Nelson.
It's really going to be week to week with a lower body injury, week to week. So maybe that means this week. I don't know. The kid has surprised me before, but
I do see that, I guess 3 years ago now, you did go up against this quarterback who put up some pretty decent numbers against you.
Yeah. So Nelson, we played against a few years ago, like you mentioned. He's definitely an elusive guy with good arm talent.
Regardless of the quarterback situation, Temple will head to Infocision Stadium on Saturday afternoon to face the Akron Zips. And both teams will be fighting for their first win of the season on Suma Field. Kickoff will be at 3:30 p.m. and will air on ESPN+. Now let's shift to the Temple Sports Complex as the men's soccer team was back in action on Saturday afternoon. The Owls faced the visiting Manhattan Jaspers, who came into the matchup with a record of 1-1. Temple, on the other hand, went into the game with 2 ties on the year. Yes, undefeated, but also still searching for that first win. The Owls didn't score in their first 2 games, but offense wasn't an issue in Game 3. In fact, 3 different Owls scored to lead their team to victory. And only 10 minutes into play, there goes forward Nigel Griffith, who forced a turnover and scored the first Temple goal of the season. The Owls came out firing in the second half, which led to a rebounded goal from Marquise Antone to put the Owls up 2-1. 2 short minutes later, Griffith found Mike Egendahl, who slammed the ball into the back of the net. The Owls ran away with the win with a final score of 3-1 Temple.
We're not done with soccer just yet. The Owls lead the nation in fewest goals allowed per game. A big reason is the man between the pipes. Owen Goronsky and his big saves coming up later in the show.
And there is one Temple team that looked to continue its hot streak over the weekend. We'll take a closer look at the field hockey team's hot start with a new coach when OwlSports Update continues.
Welcome back to OwlSports Update. The field hockey team was flying high with a 3-0 record to kick off the year, the Owls' best start since 2014. A win against Bucknell Sunday would give the Owls their first 4-0 campaign in over a decade. The Owls don their cherry uniforms over at the Temple Sports Complex for this Sunday matinee with the Bison. In the opening quarter, Julianne Kopech turning defense into offense, getting the steal and blasting a shot into the back of the net, getting Temple on the board first. In the second period, back come the Bison. MK Stefanowicz drops a dime to Mackenzie Kyle for the tap-in goal, knotting things up at 1. Later in the period, on a penalty corner, Carrie Melberger gets this one served on a silver platter and drills the shot to give the Bison a lead they do not relinquish. The Cherry and White drop their first game of the young season.
The Owls boast a 3-1 record through the first quarter of the season. And this is an impressive feat considering the recent coaching change the team went through just a few weeks ago. A new voice in the locker room is front and center. OwlSports Update's Matt Rainier has more.
Another season has arrived for the field hockey team, and with it comes the expectations set upon them after qualifying for the Big East tournament this past year. However, the team will be doing this without the woman who led the way, as head coach Susan Sufio-Bennett resigned this past August.
I think, honestly, it was just tough, hearing it a few days before preseason.
Sufio's sudden resignation leaves Michelle Vittese in charge as the interim head coach. This is Vittese's 3rd year with the team, add in Michelle's younger sister and assistant coach Carissa, and the Owls are looking for a smoother than expected transition.
Michelle and Carissa have been with us for the past 2 years, and their coaching styles are very similar to what Susan's style was, so I think we're just moving forward.
It does change when you're the one sitting in the seat that has to make decisions. So I think that's been a little bit of adjustment for me.
Losing a coach is never easy, but the Owls are moving in the right direction with a 3-1 start to the season. And even though they made the playoffs last year, this program hasn't finished above 500 since 2014. However, the Owls will look to continue to improve as a unit and to maintain focus as the season progresses onward.
So I think as a group, they're super focused and they're passionate. They want to get out there. They want to compete.
1% is something we talk about a lot, so 1% better every day in practice and every game.
It's a good lesson for a team with a new head coach, not to mention a roster that is made up of nearly 50% freshmen. From Howard Field, I'm Matt Rainier, OwlSports Update.
It's clear that Vittese's voice and experience with the team has helped the players maintain focus during this tough changeover.
Now moving over to the pitch. The men's soccer team is yet to lose a game this season, despite the fact they have been shut out in 2 out of 3 matches. I guess if you don't score, you can't win, but if you don't give up a goal, you can't lose. OwlSports Update's Ricky Turner explains.
Vocal leader, strong hands, big boot. Those are just a few of the qualities that have goalkeeper Owen Gavronsky off to such a great start this season. Through 3 games and 333 minutes of soccer, Gavronsky has given up just 1 goal and has already been named College Soccer News National Player of the Week.
Here we go. Rosamilia stops!
This success shouldn't be a huge surprise. The redshirt sophomore is coming off of an impressive first year at Temple, where he was named second-team All-AAC and this year's preseason goalie of the year. He backed up that nomination with another PK save against number 10 Seton Hall.
Jowers steps up. Saved by Gavronsky!
Not just the shutouts or the goals against average. It's the big saves and national recognition, as he was named CollegeSoccer.com's National Player of the Week.
Gavronsky has a chance to show off these skills in front of the home crowd. The Owls are currently 1 game into a 4-game homestand, their longest of the season. And it continues Saturday when Villanova comes to town. Reporting for OwlSports Update, I'm Ricky Turner.
From the field to the court, the volleyball team was looking to snap a 3-match losing streak.
We've got the Cherry and White Challenge at McGonigal Hall. Stay with us and find out more when OwlSports Update returns in 90 seconds.
Welcome back to OwlSports Update. Last week, Hurricane Ida swept through the Northeast, causing unparalleled destruction throughout the entire city. And the Temple crew team did not avoid the damage. From losing their dock to watching their equipment float down the river, Temple faced the aftermath of Philadelphia's worst flood in over 100 years.
Well, it's funny, it's 6 a.m. We still had part of our dock. I mean, I hate to say in retrospect we could have done a little better, but nobody predicted this. The last time Philadelphia flooded like this was 1869. This building finished construction in 1914. So we have no institutional memory of the water ever being this high. Yeah, we had like an $8 million renovation about 5 or 6 years ago. So we didn't know what to prepare for. Yeah, we're caught by surprise. If I learned anything last year, I think that Temple crew and the women are very resilient. They dealt with this really, really well.
Over the weekend, Temple volleyball split 2 matches at the Cherry and White Challenge. Match 1 was the tough one. The Owls lost 3-2 to undefeated Maryland, but in match 2, a much better result for the home team. This one against Long Island University. Temple playing this one in the White Tops. The Owls opened with a tight 25-20 first set win. In the first frame, Temple's Katerina Papazoglou comes in clutch with 6 kills. Heading into the second, Temple's offense recorded 14 kills without a single error in a 25-19 win. Overall, this was all Temple as the Owls picked up their first sweep of the year, 3-0 over LIU. Looking ahead, the Owls will be relying on 2 players who stand out among the best in the conference. OwlSports Update's Gil Rosen has more.
One year removed from advancing to the league championship game, the Temple volleyball team is still looking for believers. In 2021, the Owls are picked to finish 6th in the 11-team AAC. If Temple is to surprise the other coaches around the league, they will likely have to rely on Jem Grimshaw and Nico Danielson. Both were picked as preseason all-conference players.
I was nominated to be co-captain, which was really exciting for me. It kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone. I just have to lead by example, work really hard in practice, and encourage all my teammates.
The senior finished last season top on the team in points with 266 and 4th in overall conference points. Now, her job is to help along with the 11 underclassmen on this year's roster. This includes high expectations for teammate sophomore Nika Danielson, who's about to play in her first full schedule.
I've never experienced a real season before. It was kind of all new to me, just the amount of games. I think I just have to focus on just my stamina and recovery as well. I think overall I just have to work through pressure and expectations and just playing my own game.
Danielson and Grimshaw both continued to achieve accolades, and everyone around them knows that managing those expectations is key to the 2021 season. Temple has completed tournaments at McGonigal Hall to prepare them for the upcoming season. There are strong expectations for Grimshaw and Danielson with a full schedule ahead. The Owls still have 2 more tournaments before the real season begins, with conference play in late September. Reporting from Pearson McGonigal Hall, I'm Gil Rosen, OwlSports Update.
Temple will hit the road this Friday for the first time this season with more non-conference play at the Towson's Tiger Invitational. Temple will take on Norfolk State at 4 o'clock to open the tournament.
We're wrapping up today, but don't worry. We have another full slate of Temple sports next week, starting with a sports brief on Monday, which you can watch on Instagram or Twitter at OwlSports Update, followed by Inside the Nest on Tuesday, recapping the matchup with Akron. Finally, OwlSports Update returns on Thursday with Josh Safran and Sage Hurley making their live OSU debuts.
We've covered quite a lot in just one show: football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball. And although it's been fun, I'm sad to say that'll just about do it for this edition of OwlSports Update.
But you can always hang with us on social media at OwlSports Update for all your latest Temple sports news. For Lindsay Moppert, I'm Luke Milai. Have a great day, everyone.